Tonight on SportsDesk, Canes football is preparing to stop the chop and win the rivalry game against Florida State after a thriller at Virginia. Our In the Trenches team will unpack it all.
Plus, some sibling rivalry on the hardwood hasn't slowed down the Lady Canes. Reporter Morgan Champy sits down with the Cavender twins.
And later on, one pole vaulter is taking her talents to new heights on campus.
All that and a whole lot more.
SportsDesk starts right now!
I'm Ed Reed, and you're watching SportsDesk.
Hi, I'm Jim Kelly, former UM guy. You're watching SportsDesk.
What's up? I'm DJ Williams, and y'all watching SportsDesk.
Hello and welcome to SportsDesk. I'm Wyatt Kopelman.
And I'm Ember Giles. Thank you for joining us. Wyatt, the Miami-Florida State rivalry is in its 70th year in 2021, and it only has more heat this year.
Embrick, it's certainly a long-lasting rivalry in the ACC, and Miami has won 4 of the last 5 matchups, and it should be quite the primetime show. Miami had a chance to overcome its second ACC loss with a road trip to Charlottesville, Virginia for a midday battle, one that went to 4 overtimes. Let's go up to the Old Dominion State for the highlights. This one gets ugly fast, and it gets ugly without a score. Andy Borregales closing out the first half to break the stalemate, giving Miami a 3-0 lead going into halftime. And the climate wouldn't change going down the stretch of this one. Middle in the fourth quarter, Jake Garcia in his first start, he tries a dart, and he gets a completion. The Hurricanes get into field goal range. This would continue to go. The Hurricanes and Hoos combined for 14 combined punts. That time, Andres Borregales providing another answer for the Canes. That gives it a 6-6 even going into overtime. And it only go to 4 overtimes here until Jake Garcia had the answer for the Canes. He took his own detour into the end zone. 14-12 win for Miami. Andres Borregales, 137 yards for field goals.
With a 4-overtime thriller going Miami's way, Canes football is back home for a rivalry matchup against arch-rival Florida State. How can Coach Mario Cristobal win his first home primetime matchup? Our In the Trenches team is here with more. Guys?
What's going on, everyone? I'm Ethan Gainey, and this is our analyst, Cal Freeman. And Cal, big game tomorrow. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, the FSU game, and even in a season where Miami's struggling, I've got my UM tie on, I've got my UM sneakers on because we're all excited. Why are we so excited?
Because it's the game you always look forward to. It's one of the best games in the country. Even Seminoles coach Mike Norvell refers to this game every year. It doesn't matter what's happened until this game. It only matters that you win it. And these games are always so exciting to watch. Taking a look at how this series has gone recently, 6 of the last 8 games have been decided by just one score. It's so close every single year. Like this game in 2018, Brevin Jordan's touchdown to give Miami a 28-27 win over the Noles. Miami had dominated this series in the last decade. They had 4 straight wins, including this eventual 52-10 win the last 2 times these 2 teams meet at Hard Rock Stadium. But last year, FSU, they were able to flip the script. That 4th and 14 conversion would set up Jordan Travis's game-winning touchdown. But every year, there's fiery plays, there's fiery emotion. It's always a game to look forward to.
It really is. It's always an exciting game. And you know what? The guy who you saw in that video a few times, 13, he was in the game 52-10. I actually attended. He was in the last game that they won, and Jordan Travis is his name, and he's only getting better and better.
And he's really done a good job to improve this year as a passer. Take a look at what he did last week against Georgia Tech. He had 398 yards in this game, a career high. And what Florida State do, Mario Cristobal addressed it, they do so many different things with their offensive line, which creates a lot of different pockets for Travis to manage. And he does it exactly here, traversing out of the pocket, throwing on the run, and finding a touchdown. Now, how do Miami stop that? They actually were able to do that last week against Virginia. We saw the 4 overtime winner. Here's the play that set it up. Brennan Armstrong is going to be forced out of the pocket on this play because Miami are going to send pressure, and it's going to exploit a blitz lane for Jafari Harvey. He's going to exploit that, get right into the backfield, which forces Armstrong to move out. Now, watch Corey Flagg the entire time. He's going to operate as a QB spy. He's going to take the running lane away, stick with Armstrong, cause that pursuit. That's what Miami has to do against Travis. Contain and pressure.
So flag down the quarterback is what you're saying. So anyway, a lot of times a coach's career can be defined by how many times they beat their rivals. So Cristobal wants this win, but what are Freeman's final takes that are going to get him his win?
First thing Miami needs is they need lockdown coverage from their corners. Tyreek Stevenson's going to have to step up and have a massive game against Johnny Wilson. Second, Miami has to control the running game. Last 4 winners of this series have been the team who has the most runs. And we talked about the atmosphere. 65,000 is the expected crowd. They need to take advantage of that.
Use that big crowd to your advantage. All right, that's all the time we have left on this week's edition of In the Trenches. Back to you guys at the desk.
Cal and Ethan, thank you. It's homecoming week here in Coral Gables, and fans have been looking forward to this game all season long. With Mario Cristobal not living up to expectations in year 1, he will look to get Miami a big win versus Mike Norvell and the Seminoles tomorrow. It's Miami versus Florida State. The rivalry dates back to 1951, but every year since 1969, the Canes and the Seminoles have lined up across from each other to play in one of the best rivalries in college football.
When you play in this rivalry, you recognize, and especially during that time, that was always the best rivalry. And that's all you ever thought about.
Miami's heartbreaking loss last season in Tallahassee was the first time FSU beat the Canes in 4 years. And defensive coordinator Kevin Steele knows his defense will be tested.
You can watch games against Florida State this year and not see the same thing. And so, we're going to have to be really good at adjusting to the unknowns this week.
Touchdown, Ja'Kai Douglas.
Miami started the season as the number 16 team in the nation, but after losing to Texas A&M, Miami spiraled out of control.
It's been a tough year, been a challenging year. It's not over. We still got a lot to play for, a lot to look forward to, and it starts this week with a big rival.
The Canes have had some ugly losses this season, but to players and students, Miami's record doesn't mean anything this week.
But it means a lot to me to be a part of this tradition that's been going on for so long, and just to have the opportunity to go in and be able to show the world what I got in a game like this.
Most of the friends I have here, and faculty and alumni are going as well. I think that'll definitely be a huge boost.
Miami sold out Hard Rock for the first time since 2018, and everyone can't wait for tomorrow's primetime matchup.
They're coming in home to our home, and they're ready to go, just like we are. So
it's a bit of a rivalry, I've heard. I think that a win tomorrow would definitely put us back on track potentially.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Ember Giles.
Coming up on SportsDesk, the Miami Hurricanes are back on the hardwood with the fall flying by. We'll tell you the next steps for Miami men's and women's basketball as they get their seasons going. Don't go anywhere.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Succeeding under longtime coach Katie Meyer pushes individuals on the court. And now identical twins are taking that success to a new level off the court. Reporter Morgan Champy learned how Miami guards Haley and Hannah Cavender are twinning and winning in Coral Gables.
The Cavender twins made quite the buzz this offseason after they announced their transfer to the University of Miami in April. The pair were guards at Fresno State for 3 years before making the move, wanting a better chance at the NCAA tournament.
Obviously, the ACC is one of the best leagues in the country, so being able to put in so much work your whole life and trying to compete at the best level, at the highest stage, was something we wanted. You know, you train so hard at your sport for so long. I think giving yourself the best opportunity to go, to have a goal that you had in mind, is just giving you a better chance.
Haley and Hannah's love for basketball began at a young age and only strengthened as they continued to play together in school. They had always aimed to go Division I together in college.
We loved playing basketball on the court together. It's always something Hannah and I have always loved to do. So we were like, okay, let's stick with basketball when junior high came around and then just pursue it and try to play in college at the collegiate level. So that was a huge goal, and now we're here.
But what they didn't plan for was blowing up on social media. The twins started a joint TikTok account during the COVID-19 pandemic quarantine, and since then, they've amassed over 4 million followers on the app and over 440,000 each on Instagram. The Cavendish twins were a viral sensation.
It wasn't like something that was like, oh my gosh, like let's get on TikTok, try to get this number. Like we weren't chasing it. It kind of just like happened. People love the idea of twins. I think it was the right time. Being on TikTok, it was a booming app, and then being twins, I think it's just like we got kind of lucky.
Behind their social media presence, the Cavendish twins have been preparing to start their first season with the Canes this year, and their determination has not gone unnoticed.
They are relentless competitors, and they're in the gym, they want to do film with me, they stay late, they come in there, shoot on their own, and to be that wanting to get it right and have so much to learn, I just see them very determined.
The season opener for the Canes is on November 7th against Maryland Eastern Shore, and the Cavendish twins are ready to show Miami what they're made of.
Come out on November 7th. Go Canes!
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Morgan Champy.
Thanksgiving is close, and that means Miami basketball is just around the corner. Let's pass it over to our Hurricane Hangtime crew for more on the men's and women's teams exhibition games. Guys?
Hello and welcome to Hurricane Hangtime. I'm your host, Regina Potenza, here with analysts Juliana Warnock and Jake Baum. Juliana, let's start off with the women's team. They just had their first exhibition game. They have a season opener this week. Who contributed to the team's win?
The Hurricanes dominated the Buccaneers on Wednesday night, 88-28. Leading the pack is senior Lola Pendande with a total of 17 points, followed by Destiny Harden, a graduate student, with 11.
And what does the team need to do in particular to secure a win this season?
The team has double the trouble this season with the Cavendish twins, who contributed highly to the intense defense that the team used against Barry. The team overall had 60 rebounds.
Thanks, Juliana. Now switching over to the men's side, Jake, the team just got a bunch of new recruits from all over the country. How will these new team members fit into the men's dynamic?
Absolutely, Regina. So something a lot of people are talking about are going to be Norchad Omi or Nigel Pack, two great additions that will certainly be in the starting lineup to begin the season. However, last year, what the Canes needed help with a lot was blocking. In this past game against IUP on Sunday, they called in a Favor Ire, to be more specific, who got 3 blocks against IUP.
And what aspect of their game does the team need to focus on in particular to have a successful season overall?
Well, in the presser this past Sunday after the game, Coach L was really emphasizing rebounds. They got 36, same as IUP, despite winning the game by 34 points. So certainly disappointed with that. However, only 5 turnovers throughout the course of the game, something Coach L was certainly very satisfied with.
Thanks so much, Jake and Juliana. Well, that is all the time we have for you guys today, but both teams are looking to take home a win this week in their season opener. Back to the desk.
Looking up to figures in college basketball is what the game is all about. And for former St. John's College High School guard Christian Watson, he has had plenty to look forward to in his journey from the Northeast. Miami men's basketball enters a new season coming off its first ever Elite 8 run. And with many of last year's veterans graduating from the U, some new names are buying into head coach Jim Larinaga's team for the long run.
Coach L, he's a legendary coach. I just feel like I can come to Miami and learn a lot of things under him. We got a really good group of guys around me. I just seen the opportunity to come in and play some significant minutes right away.
But Watson's transition to Miami wasn't simple. He first overcame a heel injury in the middle of his senior season, an injury that still didn't keep him sidelined from scoring 11 points for St. John's College High School in the Washington, D.C. state semifinals.
I didn't let that stop me from what my goal was, to get into the next level. I really didn't have any time off, so I was just playing through the injury, and I also played really good through the injury.
Powering through the injury gave Watson determination towards getting his college career off to a strong start. And that determination doesn't go unnoticed from the Hurricanes leaders.
It's a great honor to mentor these freshmen because they all came in from different places, and it's always good for people to look up to you, even though you've been at that position too and you was looking up to somebody one day.
Here you have a group of freshmen much different than their predecessors. They're bigger, and mostly bigger guys take a little bit longer to develop. Will they get there in December or January? I don't know. Will they get there by next year? That I'm extremely confident in.
Future success might just be on the horizon for Watson, and how he finds inspiration doesn't fall short, as he finds a new home. While Watson suits up to prove himself in Coral Gables, another name who grew up near him is close to his heart. Two-time champion Kevin Durant and Watson both grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland, and Watson has drawn inspiration from him from his legacy. For UMTV, I'm Wyatt Kopelman.
Playing for a new team after entering the transfer portal can be difficult for any college athlete, but one new Hurricanes hoop star found a new home here in Coral Gables. Reporter Michael Muella sat down with Norchad Omier to talk about his journey to the U.
Norchad Omier is bringing a decorated resume from Arkansas State to Miami, earning the Sun Belt Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year awards after averaging 18 points and 12 rebounds per game last season. In 2022, he suits up for the Hurricanes.
It was just excited, like coming out, like playing for Miami Prep, like getting recruited in high school. Like I always wanted to play for Miami. You know, making this dream become true is just like, I can't explain it. You just feel really good, and I'm happy being in this city. Like.
Head coach Jim Larinaga and Omier's teammates believe he can replace center Sam Wardenberg, who graduated last year, and the third-year sophomore could quickly become a star in Coral Gables.
We did a lot of trapping of ball screens. That's hard for a big guy 6'10" to do. We need Norchad to do the same thing. Sam had to guard 7-footers in the low post. He did a terrific job of that as well. Norchad's got to be able to fill those shoes as well at 6'7".
Practice has been really competitive, so I mean, obviously bring some competitiveness, some older leadership to the team, and I feel like we're gonna go from there.
Hailing from Bluefields, Nicaragua, Norchad is joining a community with many diverse cultures, including a vast Latino and Hispanic population.
Feels great because, you know, like being around all these Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Nicaraguans, you know, it just feels good because I know the Latino community gonna support me, gonna cheer for me, and like that's something really good, I think, for the whole university.
In this week's exhibition, Norchad totaled 10 points and 7 rebounds. He'll get his next opportunity on the floor against Lafayette in Monday's season opener. For UMTV, I'm Michael Muella.
Up next on SportsDesk, a swarm of Yellow Jackets is here to face Miami volleyball this weekend. Reporter Ryan Gleitcher is standing by at the Knight Sports Complex to give us the latest on the Canes ACC matchup here in Coral Gables. But first, it's time for some trivia. The Miami Hurricanes and Florida State Seminoles have produced a combined 80 consensus All-Americans in their team histories, but how many Heisman winners have both programs produced? Is it A, 5, B, 7, C, 8, or D, 10? The answer when we return.
So guys, it's always good to reminisce. What is your favorite U-Miami football memory?
I gotta say Miami's blowout win over Notre Dame. That's when you have to start looking into the program before they win 10 games.
Yeah, well, I'm not as old as you, Wyatt, so I'm gonna have to go with the 52-10 win over Florida State.
That's a good one too. I'm in my rocking chair. I don't know about you, Olivia.
Oh, I'm...
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back. If you guessed A, you were correct. Miami and Florida State have produced 5 Heisman Trophy winners since the award began in 1935. Quarterback Gino Torretta, who won the award in 1992 as the most recent Hurricane, and Florida State's Jameis Winston took home the trophy in 2013.
One Canes track and field star is also a member of another big organization on campus. Brandy Troop sat down with Mia Raphael to learn more in this week's edition of Athlete of the Week. Brandy?
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Athlete of the Week. I'm your host Brandy Troop and today I'm joined by track and field athlete Miss Mia Raphael. Hey Mia, how are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Super excited to talk to you. Want to hit the ground running and play a game called Race the Clock. Being that you are a track and field athlete and a member of Cat 5, the School Spirit student organization, gonna ask you some questions about track and field and school spirit. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Gonna give you 45 seconds, all right?
Okay.
Let's get to it. Finish this line. We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit.
How about you?
Yes. Sebastian the Ibis wears what number on his football jersey?
0.
I know that's right, girl. Finish this rap lyric by rapper Moosey. She's a runner, she's a
track star.
What is the name of the University of Miami's alma mater?
Stand Forever.
Correct. What is the name of the track event that uses a long, flexible pole to jump over a bar?
Pole vault.
You know it. This is a tube passed from one relay race member to another.
A baton.
Correct. Okay, that's enough of the questions. Clearly you are a born winner. How are you enjoying your University of Miami experience thus far?
I love being a Miami Hurricane and I just love everything this university has to offer and everything that I'm able to be a part of here.
What about being a part of the track and field team? How's that?
I love it. I love just going out every day to practice, being with my best friends who are my teammates and just getting work done on the track.
Gotta know, what's going through your head when you're doing the pole vault?
Honestly, most of the times I'm really just locked in and getting my job done on the runway.
Do you get nervous each time before a meet?
A little.
Really? How do you deal with that?
I just trust all my training and I'm just as confident as can be.
Do you think I have a shot of going out there?
Yeah, you could totally do it. I'll coach you up.
I think you'll make a great coach.
Thank you.
Mia, thank you. It's been a pleasure. That was Mia Raphael. I'm Brandy Troop, and we'll see you next week on Athlete of the Week.
Thanks, Brandy. Moving from the track to the hardwood, Canes volleyball is wrapping up regular season play later this month. The team is playing 10th-ranked Georgia Tech right now at home. Reporter Ryan Gleitcher is live at the Knight Sports Complex, with more on how the Hurricanes are starting the weekend. Ryan, how's Miami looking over there?
Wyatt, the Knight Center is packed tonight in anticipation for tonight's matchup against number 10 ranked Georgia Tech. The Canes are tied for 4th in the ACC, and they're looking for that signature win that'll get them the boost they need ahead of later this month in the NCAA tournament. Right now, the Canes and the Yellow Jackets are neck and neck, and so let's see if the Canes can pull off some magic. The Canes can win their 5th of the last 6 game, and for more on that and other Olympic sports, let's send it to Gavin Bisho and Michael Mueller on this edition of the O Sports Roundup. Guys.
Thanks, Ryan, and welcome to this week's edition of the O Sport Roundup. I'm Gavin Bisho.
And I'm Michael Mueller. Gavin, huge weekend coming up for Canes volleyball, but recap their season up to this point for us.
While Miami is currently coming off a northeastern road trip, taking on Boston College and Syracuse, they lost in Chestnut Hill, but bounced back with the win in upstate New York. Coming into this weekend's matchup against number 10 Georgia Tech, they also finish homecoming weekend with a game on Sunday at 1 p.m. as they take on Clemson. Taking a quick look at the Hurricanes' resume, they are 14-9 overall, 7-5 in conference play, which puts them tied 4th with rival FSU in the conference standings. Currently, Miami is 49th in the National Volleyball RPI rankings, which puts them firmly in that 64-team spread for the NCAA tournament. They have key wins versus UNLV and UNC, which help their resume, and a win against Georgia Tech tonight could really bolster it and firmly secure them in that NCAA tournament field. Mike, the Canes soccer team, though, just ended their season last week. Recap how that whole season went down in their loss to Virginia.
Sure thing. Now, it wasn't the result that Sarah Barnes' squad had hoped for, losing to the Cavaliers 1-0. In fact, their final 3 games were all at home, losing 2 of 3, including 2 straight. Now, for Sarah Barnes' squad, it looked like their season was going to get off hot and continue hot, going 3-0-2 in their first 5 games. But since then, all 11 games that they had in ACC play, just 2, 8-1, not the result that they were hoping for, down towards the bottom of the ACC. Congratulations to Hurricanes Golf, who finished second in the Hurricane Invitational. And earlier today, Canes Swim and Dive had their meet versus Florida State. We'll be sure to keep an eye on those results in the future.
Thanks, Mike. That's all the time we have this week for the O Sport Roundup. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys. Still ahead on SportsDesk, Homecoming has taken over social media. Now the team is here to break down everyone's reactions on campus. We'll be right back.
Hey, Kevin, you thinking about retirement?
Of course I've thought about it, but there's all this stuff in the way.
Oh, you're not kidding.
The house, the kids are going to college.
My new car.
Car? You bought a new car?
Oh, hey, you should meet my friend Avo. Avo's a retirement coach. He'll help get you started.
But what does Avo tell you to do?
You don't know? Focus on your future. Your goals can still be met.
But how?
Target your tomorrow. And use the Avo bet.
You sing?
Not really. A is for taking action. Start off with a plan.
You built these letters?
Yep. V is for variety. There's so many ways you can.
I follow you.
Come on. O's for optimize your savings.
Let Avo lead the way.
Visit aceyourretirement.org today.
Nice sign.
Thanks, I made it myself.
Cool.
Rivalry week against FSU. Domination on the court. Canes sports are rolling right now. Niles Nassim breaks down all things happening on Canes social media on this week's edition of Behind the Post.
It's time. So let's get ready to rumble because the Canes better not fumble because it's homecoming week. So let me bring you all the social media action you seek with me, Niles Nassim, your host with the most. So when you see me on screen, it's time to go behind the post. Grab your popcorn, fam. It's going to be a good one tomorrow as the Canes will take on FSU at Hard Rock in what is guaranteed to be an instant classic. The Canes are coming off a gutsy win at UVA last week, courtesy of this amazing run by Jake Garcia, giving them the 14-12 victory. Now, for the first time this season, the game will be sold out. So Cane fans, let's roll out because kickoff begins at 7:30 tomorrow. And I mean, this game is going to be sweeter than your grandma's sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie, if you're one of those people. Now, take me out to the ball game and take me out to the mound. Can you not hear the sound of milkshakes being made and Canes baseball being played? The new season schedule is out and we are looking to be in pretty good shape, and their season is on the horizon, and it should be great as they kick off in February against Penn State. We will see you soon, boys. And it was game day for women's basketball, and let's just say this was not fair. I will show you the highlights, but they won 88-28. So that would be showing you the entire game. The Capital Twins combined for 13 points to lead the team to victory as they made their debut. And speaking of shooting shots and making them, Hannah, call me. I'm here every Friday. And finally, Canes tennis is hitting on all sides as they are back at home at the Chef for the Miami Fall Invite. They started at 11:30 this morning and will pick the back up at tomorrow at 9 a.m. So go show them some love when you get the chance. Well, that's all the time I have for you today. As always, remember, be blessed. Don't stress, because you can find me right here on Fridays on SportsDesk.
The MLB World Series can bring out adrenaline for fans and players or anyone near the ballpark. And one Houston Astros center fielder flashed the leather in Game 5 last night. Let's head north to Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia for this week's edition of Play of the Day. 3-2 in the bottom of the ninth, and Chas McCormick is going to go up and grab it as he slams into that hard wall. And Wyatt, that is not a soft landing there. He went up and got that right straight into the scoreboard. Here's another look. Bang! But the flash of the leather there, the Astros going to win Game 5 of the World Series.
In South Florida storms, it's the ibis that is the last to flee and first to return. And Sebastian the ibis didn't try fleeing in order to put out a spear, an FSU spear that is, in 1989. Let's take a look at how this feathered icon is preparing for the latest chapter of the Miami FSU rivalry. Well, here you're at the Rock Plaza here on campus, right in front of the U statue. Looks like there's a little renegade right there. Sebastian chips one right through the uprights, and it's not wide right, folks. The Hurricanes look to Sebastian the Ibis for a trademark field goal there. And then back in 2019 at Hard Rock Stadium, Sebastian the Ibis taking advantage of a little spear action right over his knee. And Emmerich, I think that's the only signal that it's Miami FSU week if Sebastian's that intense in this kind of rivalry.
Well, and Sebastian looking better than Bubba Baxter did a few years ago. Should get him on the field.
And the Hurricanes had 137 yards of field goals out of Andres Borregales to win last week, and the Hurricanes look to win this week against FSU. And that's all the time we have for this week's edition of Sports Desk. We'll see you next week.
Have a great night.